Brett Klika here from BrettKlika.com and theundergroundworkoutmanual.com. I wanted to create a short video today in response to probably the most common question I get in regards to working with kids, and that's how do we motivate unmotivated, unhealthy kids to exercise and to be healthy? Now, isn't that the golden question? Because if we could answer that question, well, then why we stop at kids? Let's get to adults too. How do we motivate them to move a little bit every day and to eat reasonably? So I want to talk about, to start, there's a couple things I'm going to talk about, some key strategies I've had a lot of success with over the years, but I'm always looking to learn from you as well. So if you've had success working with kids, motivating young kids, I would love to hear your successes. At www.brettklika.com. You can reach me through there. I'd love to hear your success, and I can share with everyone some things you're doing, because this is a very important topic, and I think we all need to help each other with this. So the first thing I want to address is the term motivation. Motivation, as it pertains to exercise and health, is not a universal term necessarily, because different things at different ages and different phases in our life motivate us. And I've seen this working with 6-year-olds all the way up to 80-year-olds. There's different motivations at different parts in our life. And I think we could all agree with that we're motivated by different things in the different areas of our life. And part of that is situational. But the other part, though, is neurochemical. It's the way our brain develops. When we're young, we're not capable, especially as we are in those pre-puberty, before we go through puberty, all those ages up to about 17, 18, even into those years, our capacity to link what we do now to future outcomes and consequences, it's just not there. We don't have that capacity. So when we're looking at a young child, and as an adult, as a teacher or a trainer, we're sitting there thinking, well, what do you mean you need to be healthy, so you need to exercise? Well, unless that is serving some temporary motivation for today, that's not going to motivate them. Young kids don't understand and don't really care about 4 years in the future. They care about what's fun, what's cool today. So what's fun and what's cool today comes down to a different situation for every kid, and that's our job. If you want to motivate, your job is to listen. What is cool to that kid? What is cool to that group of kids? They don't like to exercise, but they like to X. Well, maybe X is video games. Maybe X is sitting and watching TV, those aren't the things that we want them to do, obviously. But wait a minute, couldn't we fit those things in? Couldn't we take a video game concept like Halo, like Call of Duty, like any of these games that are captivating our youngsters? Couldn't we work that into a physical environment? Couldn't we create a scenario where we're going around the gyms? I have these foam balls that I use, and those are our guns, and we're firing at each other, and we're climbing under stuff and climbing over stuff. And they're pretty dang motivated. They're actually very excited, and they get in that car, and mom and dad ask, what did you do today? And they start rambling on about this imaginary adventure that they went on, and they're sweating. We talk about with our kids at Fitness Quest 10, we want them leaving our care sweaty, smiley, and smarter. And that's the whole idea. So with our young kids, that's what works. A great resource for that, I've actually created a line of DVDs, the PE Adventures with Commander B. I'm Commander B. These are available at brettklika.com. But really, what it is, I take these kids on imaginary adventures. They're 20 minutes, and it's a workout. So the kids are crawling, kids are climbing, they're doing all these developmental movement patterns in the context of a fun adventure. We're searching for treasures. So what it did is I took the concept of motivation with a young child and realized that fun is what motivates, and realized that, well, sports aren't necessarily fun, because realize the competition factor, if we're taking a child that doesn't do well in competition, when they're placed, if they're out of shape, overweight, I'll tell you what, they're not going to be doing well in competition, in physical competition. So why are we pairing it like that? Why are we presenting it like that, offering them more opportunities to fail? When we compare them to other kids, they're not going to have success. So we want to avoid that competitive factor with the young kids. We just want to have them be active. So take the competitive factor out and put the fun factor in. With the older kids, once we start to get to that high school age, they start to understand a bit. They want to know what's going on. They start asking more questions. they are curious how to live their life because there's a little more motivation there, not just coming from daily fun, which is absolutely critical for that age, but it starts to come from that social hierarchy. It starts to come from where do they fit in that social hierarchy? Where are they at with the opposite sex? We all remember that. When you're in those pubescent years, that's all that matters. That is your world. And so there's a way that we can use that motivation and that insight to work exercise and eating healthy into a model that they can embrace and carry on. And one of the things that I do with my older kids, they all get the card, my teenagers, a card I made for them, the sweat, smile, and sleep. And that's the whole idea of, sweat every day, smile because realize it's not, no matter what, it's not the end of the world. Keep your mind right, get your mind right, and then sleep, being able to recover. And then on the other side, I got the 5-4-3-2-1 rule. So the 5 meals a day, 4 pints of water, eat every 3 hours, 2 ingredients or less in the food you eat, and that one thing, you can have a small amount of that something you want every day. So we think that these high school kids get this and they throw it away right away. And we think that's their job, but realize their job as high schoolers is to make us as adults and role models not cool. I've gotten so much feedback. These kids put it in their car. They carry it with them. It provides this internal framework, whether they want to tell you how cool you are or not. It provides them with a framework, and I've had a lot of success with that because when they leave my care, when they leave our care, that's when the work starts. That's when it's very important. So no matter what we do with any age kid, it has to sustain, it has to maintain when they leave. I always talk about model, manage, and maintain. Well, they have to maintain these things in the household. They got to maintain these things when they get out on their own someday. And also it's the sustained behaviors. What strategies have we created so they're able to repeat these things over and over again even when they're not in our care? So giving those resources, making it fun, understanding that motivation is different at every level. And folks, we know that. We're motivated by different things in our lives. But let's put on our thinking caps and put on our listening ears. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth. And that's for a reason, so we can actually listen to what our kids like, what they respond to. And that's how we're going to get some success. So let's remember what motivation is. Remember to have fun. Remember where competition fits into the whole thing. Provide opportunities for success. That way we can have a future of happy, healthy, pain-free adults. Thanks a lot for listening. If you need any other resources, please go to www.brettklika.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Get out and motivate our kids. Remember, we want that future of happy, healthy, pain-free adults. Have a great day. Be well.